What up, guys? Any tier here. I just said that twice. Anyway, any tier, Guild Forever, however you want to call me. We are now going to be talking about Attack on Titan Season 3, Episodes 9, 10, and 11. I'm not gonna lie, these were some pretty damn good episodes from the conclusion to Rod and pretty much taking out that giant deformity Titan that literally had half its body gone. Not half its body, but his front part was all gone. Even its face, like majority of its face was caved in by him dragging his face along the freaking earth. So I just gotta say, like, my goodness, that was yeah. That was pretty dope how freaking Erwin decided to came up with that strategy. If we can't hurt it from the outside, we have to figure a way to hit it from the inside, and they did, because Erwin decided, since he dragged his face so much along the ground, it would mean it no longer has a face or a mouth to close. Therefore, you can just shove like gunpowder inside itself, to where it blows up from the inside out. So if you can't hurt it, especially, dude, they would have gotten it either way, because its intestines and everything was exposed and dropping from its body. That thing was going to die no matter what. It was either going to die from the gunpowder, which it did, or from all its intestines coming out. I mean, one can say, yeah, like, you have to get rid of the nape, but still, like, it's done the moment it got on top of the walls. So there's that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that is by far the most disturbing looking Titan I have ever seen. That thing was pretty gruesome to look at, and honestly, it felt a bit too gory, just a bit more than over the top that I'm used to in Attack on Titans. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, as a shocker, I didn't expect anything that like extremely violent. But whatchamacallit. But yeah, I do want to know is, who is the one moving the Ape Titan? I'm not sure if it's someone I've seen before in the series, because for those of you that don't know, I do not read the manga. I'm just pure anime when it comes to Attack on Titan. So I'm not sure if we've seen that character before, but I don't recognize him because of age, or if he's new. But for now, I'm just going to say that I've never seen him before, but he is the one piloting. I say piloting because if you think about it, guys, Attack on Titan is kind of like a piloting kind of anime series, even though that's usually more themed towards mech. The Titans are not mech, but humans are piloting them. You get what I mean? But whatchamacallit. Yeah, so I'm not sure who that is, but he wrecked Rainer. Rainer got destroyed by that guy. That was ridiculous. When Rainer, I consider him like a really tough, like, Titan shifter. Like, he's like an extremely powerful one. Yet he got wrecked by the Ape Titan, which, in my opinion, his body looks kind of sluggish. So I wouldn't think he's like so much on speed, when maybe, I guess, and if he's not all speed, it has to be mostly raw power. So yeah, that's the one thing that's still like, damn, he got wrecked by that Ape Titan. I don't know what happened, but I hope they show us the fight, even though, let's be real, they're not going to show us the fight, even though I would have liked to see an Ape versus Armored Titan for sure. Now from there, we move on to seeing Levi, and not really Levi, mostly Kenny's origin. And I gotta say, Kenny is a very well-grounded character. From him dealing with the fact that he is kind of conflicted in a way with his sense of purpose, because like he said before, some people find something, a purpose, a go-to, something that really they can get drunk off of to help them keep moving forward in life. Kenny, he was obsessed with power. He wanted it more than anything, because he feel like if he had power, he can do anything he wanted when he wanted. So for him, he was drunk on power, There were some people drunk on women, drunk on children, drunk on families, drunk on moral obligations, not church, but religion. So, and it just mind boggled me that this character wasn't necessarily all about power. It's what he mostly spent his entire life striving towards. But eventually, later on, when we dig further into his past, we see that he becomes curious on what other people do to give themselves purpose or give themselves something to really keep wanting to live in life. For him, it's not that he neglected everything else and only saw power as the only answer toward keeping a foundation on his methods for living, but he became curious and be like, this is my way of living, but what are other people's way of living, and why is it they choose that way of life? He is kind of someone that already has his own thing going, but he's curious on how people do things their way in their life. He's a very curious person. So whenever he found Nod, that's when it kind of brought a spark to him, like, what is this guy? What makes him so... Maybe also what brought him about it is because Rod was like the only one who's able to beat Kenny in a fair fight. So it would... But here's the thing though, Nod isn't someone that's so... Oh, excuse me. Nod isn't someone that's so keen on power or anything. He's actually a pretty noble soul based on what I've seen in the flashbacks. So, I guess that's probably what spurred Kenny's curiosity, because it's like, man, this guy is so strong, yet he's not crazy about power. If anything, he is nothing like me, yet he's stronger than me. Why is that there's someone that's so much more greater than I am, and yet so different? Like, what is it about him that makes him this strong, yet he doesn't seek strength? He uses it as a tool for a greater scheme, when for Kenny, strength isn't a tool, it's a purpose, it's a meaning, it's a something to keep him lingering to this world. So that really brought a sense of... That made me really interested in the character, which sucks since he died. So it's like, okay, Kenny, you got my attention, but you're dead, bro. So that's it to your character. So it's kind of like those one things to where, like, I start getting interested, but I can't care about him if he's dead. You know what I mean, guys? One thing's for sure, these episodes really got me interested in a few characters. There was Kenny, and then there was the other one known as Keith, who is the one that was in charge of training Aaron and the 9 scouts to becoming... pretty much he trained them to fight Titans. Excuse me. So it was really surprising when I found out he was the one that helped out Aaron's father in the whole situation when Aaron turned into a Titan. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? Or pretty much just finding someone who knows anything at all about Aaron's father. That way Aaron can find clues as to where, regarding the basement. So yeah, that was interesting. I really didn't think... I mean, I always knew that he knew something about Aaron's father, because in season 1, he mentioned something like, Grisha, your son today has now become a soldier. So that tells me that he knew Aaron's father, And I was just back then. It was like I was waiting for them to like talk about like, so are we gonna talk about this guy knowing Aaron's father or what? Obviously, it's important. They didn't talk about it right away, but now they did, and I will admit it was worth the wait because I mean, I kind of feel bad for Keith Shades. I think that's how you say his name, because he went from a guy that wanted to do something worthwhile in this world, like bring about justice, do something good in the world to make it a better place. He had a crush on Carla, Aaron's mother. He wanted to be someone special in this world, and it turns out he learned the cold-hearted truth. He is no one special in this world. Well, I don't think it's necessarily that. It's just in his mind. I'm looking from his mind. He's not someone special in this world. He didn't get Carla, and well, he did become commander, or no, not commander. I would say he became like someone important in the. He became a teacher essentially. So instead of him becoming the commander of the survey corps, it was Erwin. So he didn't become the commander. He didn't get Carla. And he wasn't no one special in this world. So I have to admit, I feel bad for him. He had high hopes for himself, but it was just dwindled and just crushed just because of other people involved. They didn't pick Keith for the commanding position. They picked Erwin because they felt he was more suited. Carla didn't pick Keith. She picked Grisha. I'm sure she picked him after him saving her and her family. I'm sure ever since then, Carla has been thirsty for that doctor. Because, you know, certain women love their doctors. Especially the one that's got magic fingers. I'll chill. But, yeah. Overall, I do feel sad for the character Keith. I thought he was a good guy. It's just he has such a huge inferiority complex that it made him see himself as a very, like, he values himself so lowly because of everything that's happened in his life. If you really think about it, the character Keith is actually very relatable because, I mean, come on. How many of us ever thought like maybe we'd be someone great in this world and maybe it hasn't happened yet, or you feel like it won't happen? How many of us had a crush on a girl that we wanted and it turns out she picked someone else over us? Whether it's a boy or a girl. How many of us seek a position, whether it be work, a title, a hobby or something, and it turns out they pick someone else for the position and not you? I'm sure we've had plenty of situations like that in our lives. It's just Keith is like, that's why his character is so relatable. We've been there ourselves. We know that feeling. And yet, like, he's basically like the sad ending to that. Because he's accepted it. He's not fighting against that role anymore. He's not trying to get better. He's not trying to seek a woman. He's not trying to like think he's special. He's pretty much considered himself at the bottom of the barrel, and you can't help but sympathize and feel bad for his character. And the only thing that his character, anything remotely special he had to offer, was information regarding the special people he saw in his life. How sad is that? I couldn't help but I don't know, man. I just felt sad for Keith. He seemed like a cool guy. It's just that he has a huge inferiority complex that it kind of messed and pretty much destroyed his self-esteem. Like, he has no self-esteem whatsoever. He is pretty much the product of a broken man because of going through such disappointments in his life. So Eren is in the same way too, to be honest. Like, Eren is not his typical, like, hot-headed, like, trying to be the best or trying to do something for humanity level self anymore. It's almost like that courage and determination he showed in season 1 and season 2 were completely downplayed ever since that incident, finding out of what happened between Eren, his father, and the Race family. So I don't know, Eren's character has took a huge nosedive. He's basically no different than freaking Keith right now. So yeah, I hope Eren steps up his game, though. I'm sorry to seeing him all depressed and whatnot. But anyway, guys, that's it for that. I'm already 15 minutes into this. So let's see. Out of the two characters we saw in these episodes, which one interests you the most, and tell me why? Kenny or Keith? Let me know. That's question 1. Question 2. If you were in Grisha's position... No, do I want to say that? Whatever. If you were in Grisha's position, don't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you wanted a position, or you wanted something more than anything that to be the best at, and someone else was picked instead of you. You had a crush. You liked this woman or you liked this man. Someone else got to them before you. Or this person sought someone else and not you. You wanted to be someone great in this world. Turns out, you're not that special. In your mind. If you're in Keith's position, where you went through all this, what would you have done with your life? Like, where would you be if you went through all that? Like, what would your mindset be, and would you be doing now? Would you continue to allow yourself to be in this state of mind? Or would you do something? Be more specific. And what would this something be to help better yourself and value yourself more as a human being? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright then, guys, that's it for this. Don't forget to like, comment, sub if you haven't already. Really motivates me to put more content out there for you guys as my guildmates, and I'll see you guys all on future reactions. By the way, what do you think of my setup of me being a bit farther away from the camera, so you get a more profile view of me? Well, not profile, more like shoulders to head up view of me, rather than just like a visual profile of just my face. Like, let me know what you think of this view, guys. Do you like it? Do you don't like it? Keep, not keep? Let me know in the comment section below. Peace.